Watch Dogs was announced back at E3 2012 and took the gaming industry by surprise. However, after the game finally released 2 years later, some features that were shown off originally didn't make it into the final version. Don't get me wrong, this is something that is pretty common with all video games for a couple of reasons. One, because some features simply don't end up working. Two, because they end up being replaced by something else. Or three, there simply isn't enough time to work on them. So I just want to make this crystal clear, I'm not hating on Ubisoft or Watch Dogs, I'm just showing you 5 things that didn't make it into the final game. So let's get started.
Watch Dogs Central.
Retaliation. On September 4th of 2013, Eurogamer posted a 14-minute gameplay demo of Watch Dogs commentated by animation director Colin Graham. Around the 12-minute and 30-second mark, Colin gets invaded by a random player who attempts to hack him but fails and eventually escapes. That part isn't Watch Dogs, but take a look at what happens next.
We stopped the hack, but the hacker managed to get away. I don't know about you, but we can't let this pass by. We need to retaliate. Using the grid, let's see if we can find that second player. There he is. Let's enter his game seamlessly.
So as you probably noticed, Retaliation didn't end up making it into the final game. And for me personally, I can see why that is. Literally right after he hacked Colin and escaped, Colin entered his world seconds later. The system is just flawed because people would eventually realize that you're hacking them right after they escaped from your world. A hackable wheel. At Ubisoft's press conference during E3 2012, they showed off a small segment where Aiden is about to cause a traffic jam. Oddly enough, the weapon wheel that we have now was actually just hacks. And the reason why that is, from my understanding, is because Aiden was originally going to have one gun, his pistol. So again, I can understand why this was removed because they wanted to add more weapon variety in the final product and make hacking easier. Fast forward a year to Ubisoft's E3 2013 press conference, and right at the beginning you can see the layout for calling others on your phone, in this case T-Bone. Not only was the audio wave removed, which by the way looks very cool, but also his Twitter handle @TBoneGrady was removed. No, but seriously, Ubisoft actually was planning on having their own game's social media app according to various interviews with the senior producer on the game. The reason for this social media app was to see what citizens were saying online about Aiden Pierce and other side characters. But unfortunately, the idea was scrapped and you can only see what the media says about the vigilante on TV. About 5 minutes later in this demo, Aiden has killed a couple of enemies and now the police are beginning to hunt him down. As a result, Aiden selects a feature called Request Help, which basically connects a mobile player to your game to help fight off the police. Now some of you might mention that it's the mobile companion app, but it's not. It's actually the other way around. In the mobile companion app, you control the police, but that's only in a race mode, not in the actual open world. Honestly, the reason this was probably removed is because it's overpowered, and for me personally, I don't need backup because I'm a pro, alright? I promise. Character customization. Ubisoft, why? I understand all of the other decisions you made, but this one, really? For those of you who don't know, the creative director Jonathan Morin did say in an interview that we can customize what our character looks like to other players. Listen.
Which means that the only thing you can customize when you think about it is the appearance that you're gonna have for other players. Yeah. Because you're Aiden Pierce in your game, but you're a civilian to the other. So if you don't want to look like an old woman with a machine gun type of thing, you can at least choose what you're going to look like to other players.
And that was 1 month before the game released. 1 month. And not to even mention, 2 years before that, character customization was a thing in the first demo, and you weren't even Aiden Pierce. Anyways, those were 5 things that were removed before Watch Dogs release. Again, I don't hate Ubisoft or Watch Dogs. Yes, I'm a little upset by the character customization, but honestly, my most anticipated Ubisoft game is Watch Dogs 2, and I'm excited to see on how they improve from the first game. As always though, to stay up to date on everything Ubisoft, make sure to subscribe right here on Ubi Central.